Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with today's trading action. All right, coming at you a little bit earlier, just ahead of this tropical cyclone that's about to hit where I abode. Now, just having a look at the markets, right? The euro has made some significant gains here, right? And it's a bit of German debt reform, really positive signs out of Germany. Going to revamp the military and the economy, right? Get some spending, get everything sort of moving. And that's a positive step. On top of that, you've got the US. It's almost like they're sort of blackmailing Ukraine into some sort of deal, minerals deal, to get some support. But that's what's happening. And so when you look at the markets, you look at the different news. I'll tell you what, the Canadians are not happy, and Trudeau says they're going to strike back with extra tariffs. That's just like a crazy little, well, storm in a teacup, possibly, but could go bigger. Now, just looking at the markets, the dollar, okay, going down, right? So to me, this is a lot to do with euro, right? Euro is 58% of the dollar index, and that's why you're seeing the dollar sort of lower there. If you just have a look, the euro, right? It is the big dog as far as all the major currencies. It has the most volume and the biggest liquidity. It's taking sterling with it. You've got Aussie breaking back up above these levels, and Kiwi. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with technical analysis, this is technical analysis in action. All right, see how it comes up, tests the line, breaks higher, comes back, retests, and then goes. To me, that is a sign that this is a real move, right? I know I'm starting to get a bit overboard, but I tell you what, it looks good for the Aussie and Kiwi, right? These things have just been sort of treading water on the downside, especially with the tariffs on China, right? So we've seen a big surge today on the commodity currencies. Okay, Aussie up, Kiwi up, and dollar CAD down. So that's the Canadian dollar up as well. So which shrugs off a bit of this geopolitical news. One thing to note, right? When we see the dollar falling at the moment, we are seeing dollar yen go up, right? And it's going up with the commodity. So just be aware of the correlation here between the commodity currencies and the yen. It's very strong at the moment. That's what I'm sort of eyeballing and sort of really focusing on. Now, just having a look where the action is today on the markets. We've got, well, there's a few things coming out here. I wouldn't say the AIG numbers are anything significant. We do have some real GDP numbers out of Australia. GDP traditionally, when all the interest rates are sort of balanced, GDP is the main number to look at. But it's not exactly balanced at the moment. But we want to be sort of keeping an eye on that if you're in the Australasian session. To me, one of the dark horses is the Swiss CPI numbers, right? Switzerland, not too dissimilar to New Zealand, right? Very small economies. You know, the Swiss chocolates, watches, that's about it. So so keep an eye on the Swiss CPI, and then it rolls into some European numbers. But you know what? If we get some sort of significant variance here on the Swiss CPI, it will potentially impact the euro. Okay, so going forward, and then we scroll down through the North American session. Okay, we do have the non-farm payrolls on Friday, so you start to get a few, the ADP national employment numbers, factory orders, right? This is like traditionally, this is a really good number, as is the ISM non-manufacturing PMI, otherwise known as the services PMI. So that is a number you want to look at, 52.6. Now, the ISM manufacturing numbers were a little bit softer, right? If we get the non-manufacturing softer as well, we've seen this, many times. These two numbers come out in the same week, and if they usually line up, it impacts the dollar. So looking for weaker numbers there, definitely, hopefully below 50.2 would be the go. And just keep an eye on those US numbers. So now, just having a look at the markets, understand a little bit of discombobulation, right? Equity markets overall have had a, not a great day. I see the Nasdaq futures are sort of going up at the moment. Is it a risk-on profile? Hard to say, right? But it does look like the US Treasury yields have steadied, right? They've had an adjustment. Now the market's sort of working out where we go from here. So if you're looking at the risk-on, risk-off profiles, you have to say there is one on with Kiwi, Aussie, and CAD all going up today, right? So this is where we are, and and you can sort of work out where the news is, right? If you can't see here, right, Euro's going up against everything. This is the positive news from the government reform, and a potential deal with US and the Ukraine, really giving the euro a shot in the arm. Will that last? That's the question. We've seen these sporadic markets. It's hard to say, but you know what? I'm looking at something like the Swiss, right? In particular, okay, it's breaking down. And the real secret is having a look at the daily charts and having a look where it's sort of heading. Now, it's broken down technically, hasn't got far before it falls down below the bull bear pivot line. And that should be on for young and old, right? You've seen that on the dollar index, dollar yen overall going down. I like the idea of a lower dollar yen. And we are starting on the longer term chart, starting to see euro, definitely sterling push higher. Aussie and Kiwi got a fair bit of work to do to get themselves up off the floor. So look at your hourly charts, look at your daily charts. Okay, ideally, what we'd like to see is this US Ukraine deal go through, get something sorted out there, because this is what would be the main news for us. The German debt reform. This is a big positive. And then the outside of that, another geopolitical event would be watching what Canada does with these, the tariffs. Oh my God, who knows what's going on there? All right, guys, that's it for me. As I said, I do have a situation here where there's a tropical cyclone heading my way. So the live sessions today may not go ahead. I'll let you know, but I have kept it scheduled at this point. We'll see how that plays out. Now, with the prime time analysis, okay, if you have a look across the board, it's a little bit mixed. There are some momentum numbers or sides of things close to changing, but at the moment, dollar CAD, right, has been going up and up and up. It's gone a long way. Is now sort of going back down, right? And if anything, to me, it looks like the best, it's the one currency in the trade zone, right? And that's looking for levels to get short dollar CAD makes a lot of sense to me. You know what? Aussie and Kiwi have already gone. CAD's gone a little bit, but has got more room to go. All right, guys, that's it from me. Have a good one. All the best. Cheerio.